Yo, what up, man? Yo, where you boys at? Alright. Yo, I was checking out the cruise video, man. Hey, that thing the deal, boy. I think we need to turn it up, though. What you think? I bet that. I'll meet y'all on the road.
Hey, old man. Give me everything.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me.
Your team just sucks. Yes, your team completely sucks. I can't even bring myself to say their name because it leaves a taste in my mouth like I've just licked my own crotch.
What the rock is cooking!
Recording live from 3, count them 3 locations. This is Past the Rock. I am Patrick, and as always, I'm joined by 2 great men. Let's see who it pulls first this week. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm just going to say everybody's here. Caesar, a.k.a. LCs.
You know, unlike that teddy bear, I do not lick my own crotch.
And Jacob, a.k.a. Bethke.
Man, honestly, as a child, I think Nelly turning country was heartbreaking. As an adult, it's painfully obvious.
I love the I was just watching the cruise video. Like he's not hearing the song, he's just watching the video.
He's like, yeah, whatever, guys. Turn it. I mean, Nelly to this day can be found in small rural towns across America at state fairs or less.
I wonder if he's allowed to play cruise if they're not there.
Oh, definitely he's allowed to play cruise. He's got to. That's the most important song he's got on his catalog for this.
I mean, what
do you think he's going to play? Country Grammar?
Yeah.
The St. Lunatics are going to call him and say, hey, remember we wrote that and you never paid us?
I would think people want to hear that 100 times.
Over and over again.
Hear cruise. Over and
over again.
That's what I was trying to remember, and I couldn't remember it, so I went with cruise.
I think that was the sequel to this, right?
No, Over and Over started his
Over and Over was the
because he got Tim McGraw on that one, right?
That was the
even though McGraw had a very
or for some reason all I could think about was the Sheryl Crow and who had that first cut as the deepest song.
I put your picture away. That one. The Kid Rock.
Is that Kid Rock? Okay.
Yeah,
I was trying to think of Over and Over Again, but I kept thinking of that other one.
Over and Over started to descend into this whole like rap country thing because it wasn't terrible. At least at the time when I was a kid, I was like,
it is
hey,
a good
this
pop
is nice.
song.
Yeah,
and then it's like, hey, dude, this is a great one-off. Please don't do it again. And then he just kept doing it.
Yeah.
And doing it.
Well,
doing it.
He waited for the schlockiest of schlock pop country, Florida Georgia line.
He helped put St. Louis on, and then,
Ride With Me, come on.
No, classic. I mean, all of it's Ride With Me is like commercially massive, but Country Grammar, EI, all that is very. That's still important. That's still a very important legacy to hip hop.
Did he do
Hot in here?
Hot
in here, come on.
Huh?
Did he do Shake Your Tail Feather, or is that Lil Jon?
No.
Maybe. I have no idea. Listen, but his biggest club banger, Hot in Here, absolutely important to the club scene of that time.
Hot shit.
And the Weird Al version.
Weird Al had a Hot in Here.
It's about it being full of trash. I can't remember the title of it, but yeah, it's
he didn't always nail them.
No, that one's really good. I just forget what it's called. That's
if it was really good, you wouldn't have forgotten.
Putting me on the spot. It's definitely not a top 10 Weird Al song by any means, but
that's why Weird Al committed suicide.
Whoa, sir.
Sorry, that's a joke in like season 2 of King of the Hill, and I just died laughing.
Okay.
I was like, wait a minute, when did this happen?
Hank tells Bobby not to listen to funny music because Al Yankovic killed himself.
It's like on Freaks and Geeks, where just the dad's always like, "Oh, I remember growing up with someone like this. Do you know what happened to them? They're dead in a ditch." Basically, the Chris Farley thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this week, music is something that we experienced, probably to varying levels of enjoyment. The biggest local name to put out an album, BigXThaPlant. conflicting reports on whether he made the first CD release party before he got arrested or not. I'm not really sure.
So you're saying he might have gotten arrested getting some chicken after the party?
Yeah, I was confused at the time, but outside of Williams Chicken, whatever. That's not really relevant, but
that's kind of cool though, because I think that
it'd be cooler if it was a different album.
Williams Chicken's a pretty decent small chain here.
I do like Williams Chicken.
You know what I mean? This is a real.
That is a way to build rep your hood while getting in trouble.
And it's great for them. Like he might just be able to eat free if he wasn't already. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It sounds like, from a musical standpoint, unless this venture pays off big for him, and maybe it does, maybe Big X might be needed to take all those free meals as he can get.
I'm telling you, the way so this is for anyone who doesn't know about it. I think it's called I Hope You're Happy or something like that. It's essentially
Sad boy.
It's essentially he got like 15 country singers to write a song each, and then he was like, I'm going to throw some raps into some of this.
Let's read the features list. I mean,
and that's what I was going to say, because the way the features list works, he's going to probably do pretty well because a fan of every one of those people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, the features list is absolutely nuts, dude.
We got the Blowfish.
So Jelly Roll is the funny one. Luke Combs, I've heard of. Bailey Zimmerman, I've never heard of, but that sounds about right. Thomas Rhett, I've never heard, but I've heard of. Tucker Wetmore, that sounds like someone's trolling me, but I'm going to believe that it's a real country artist.
You're gaslit in the country artist name.
Shabuzi, I do know is real because his song is massive as shit. And then Ella Langley, again, that one feels
you left off
fair, but
maybe the third biggest one? Track one?
Darius Rucker. Oh, I thought I said Darius Rucker, but you said
the Blowfish.
I didn't say
I said the Blowfish, but I don't know if everyone knows who I don't know if anyone calls him that besides
Cudi and the Blowfish.
So is he going to help Lil Nas X get out of jail, and then
he's already out of jail,
so they can both collab on a song and be the double X's?
I wonder what Big X the Plug's thoughts are on the Lil Nas X brand, but
do they posthumously try to get the other one, and then you have the XXXTentacion, you have Big X, Lil Nas X, and then you just release?
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get a AI Toby Keith.
Toby Keith. Yeah, Toby Keith would have gone hard here.
I don't. When you say hard, are you talking about the letter he's going to use to refer to Big X, or?
Hey, as long as Big X is an American, that's all Toby Keith cares about.
Is he putting boots in asses, or getting asses put in his boot? Or boot? Wait.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know a whole lot to say about it.
Grill.
I listened to the first couple of songs and then kind of passed my way through to see if anything caught me. Nothing really caught me there.
No, well, you had like teased us with Darius Rucker and I think Jelly Roll, and I was like, "Ooh, that's alarming," but I'm still gonna try this. And then I saw the rest of the track list, and I heard two songs, both of those artists featured, I believe, in the first two, and I was just like, "Oh, I would not like to continue."
I know people who enjoy that kind of music, and I'm not one of them. And I didn't know that's what I was getting myself into until I hit play.
I noticed around a decade ago that there was some of this like really new country coming out that had like they would put the hip hop beat behind it.
Yeah,
that was awful.
And going back to like the Florida Georgia Line era, where it really got. I mean, the '90s country really started doing the bubblegum pop with you just had.
You're microdosing like modern sound into this.
But now they're really starting to get the fusion going.
How do we get house music to mold with these people? How do we get electronica involved here?
You just put four on the floor. It's not even that hard. Like they're close. I'm sure someone has something like that already out. Like EDM country exists.
There is a song. There's a song out there that's really popular that has some country elements to it. Hold on, I'll look it up while you guys are talking.
I find this to be tough, but yeah. So that does feel like the natural progression is maybe now EDM music needs to also appease rural white audiences.
Oh, right. There's that EDM version of Cotton Eye Joe.
That was honestly all I was thinking is Cotton Eye Joe. I was like, and I don't even know how much Cotton Eye Joe is even allowed to be utilized here. Let me see. Who's running the music industry right now? A quick Google search tells me
Sony.
Hakeem Jeffries.
Okay.
Oh, that's I see. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, so now I see why we're appeasing to the median rural white people in the world. No, it's unfortunate. It's
what
very
you got, Caesar?
Oh my god, I just lost the goddamn name. I think it's by Avicii. Wake Me Up.
Oh yeah,
that
was
country?
like soul.
No, like listen. If you listen to it, you can hear some. You can hear some country instrumentation on there.
Yeah,
okay.
An acoustic guitar. Yeah, you're right though.
Yeah.
You're definitely right. Wake Me Up did go into that universe.
It's probably what we can get away with there.
Wake me up
when
it's all alone. And even the singer, like when you hear him, he has a twang to his.
Yeah, but it's Aloe Black. It's like the
but,
same guy that was like, what was it? I need $1, that's what I need.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I feel like he went more into the.
Let
me get a.
Aloe
Let me
Black's
get a
really good
country
by himself. I've enjoyed a lot of his solo stuff. I think he ended up going more like gospel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, sounds. I can see that.
Yeah, I think eventually that was where that went. But
moving on to album 2 on our list is the new Kid Cudi album, Free. Which another one that I didn't know what it was going to be going into. The second song, I thought this first song was fine, and then I got to the second song, and I thought he was maybe doing like a demo reel for Imagine Dragons. And then the rest of the album is kind of all over the place. And this is one. So if the Big X the Plug one, we know who that's for. If there's a redneck community for that.
I can tell you who this
Kid Cudi album is for Kid Cudi, and that's fine. He's allowed to enjoy his own music. It's just not fair.
Hold on, let me give you one thing. I thought this was extremely basic. It was like Kid Cudi making like the Gap ads. You know what I mean? Like this is the most basic I've ever heard Cudi in his life.
All right. Now let me get into it. All right, because I'm not going to be as nice about this album as you guys have been.
I was worried about upsetting you with my disdain.
No.
I heard.
I love Cudi so much, and I grew up with his music, right? And it has a very his early stuff, sentimental place, right, in my heart. However, that doesn't mean I can't be objective. Unlike most Cudi stans who just meat ride until their eyes roll to the back of their head. Okay? Because I'm not going to deal with this one. This one, absolutely the most basic bitch album he has ever put out in his career. I heard the first couple songs and I'm like, oh my God, this is somebody
Starbucks and Target.
No, worse. I think it's worse because you hear the instrumentation. You're like, oh my God, this guy's obsessed with remaking Wizard over and over again. But he doesn't want to make Speaking Bullet to Heaven again either, right? He's like, I want to be in this rock sound, and I want to hum and sing, and maybe throw in a few raps here and there, but I don't want anybody to hate it. And I'm like, bro, it sounds like
how do I get played a lot at H&M?
He gets he is stuck in this time capsule with this album. I'm like, bro, what year are you trying to sound like you're in? Because it sounds like you're trying to do 2012 in the most generic, bland way possible.
I like that.
It's almost like if you asked someone to can you just make like a slightly off, like a royalty-free version of Blonde or something?
No, I think that's
I actually love what Caesar said, because I was thinking it sounded like as if this was the follow-up to Man on the Moon in an alternate universe where like Kid Cudi really flamed out instantly, and it was like this was the follow-up to the big album.
I think if that were the case, I might maybe not immediately, but in hindsight, I might like that more. But this is like album 7 now, and I'm like,
no, but listen, okay, if you guys go into Man on the Moon 1, Man on the Moon 2, and then you see the follow-up Wizard, it's what you're saying. It's what you're saying. Except, however, he has now put out so many more albums since then. I'm like, bro, can your sound mature, please? Can you mature with the sound? Because I was listening to the album, I'm listening to every song, and he's hitting a lot of the same beats he's been hitting his entire career, right? Of trying to relate to the youth, obviously dealing with mental health, insecurities, addressing like your masculinity while being really sad at the same time, and maybe feeling like you don't belong in any particular space. I'm like, cool. Can you mature those things along with the sound that you're on? Because it sounds like you refuse to kind of grow up even though the rest of your audience has grown up with you. And the problem is he's already done albums like that where he kind of did sound like he was growing up and maturing. Like I go to Intergalactic, right? Intergalactic, it sounds a little bit more like he grew up a bit. It's not as exciting as Man on the Moon 1, 2, or 3. However, it doesn't have to be. It was a very solid album. People aren't going to give it its credit. But then he takes a step back with Insano, and then he takes another step back with Free. I'm like, dude, the roller coaster ride that is Kid Cudi's career is insane because he has the lowest of that. Yeah, he has the lowest of valleys and some of the highest of peaks you've ever seen, and it's maddening. The guy is his ceiling is high and his floor is at the bottom.
It's also possible that Cudi's finding new audiences and like his longevity, but they're like young people finding Man on the Moon again. Because I do think that when it comes to like certain artists, since their music really impacts like adolescence, maybe because it's written in adolescence or it's written about adolescence or whatever, tends to continue to refine generations after they go. And I think that Kid Cudi might have a situation where maybe he can afford to make stuff like this because Man on the Moon will continue to bring back like a young adolescent generation.
Sure. And
probably every time, really.
Absolutely. Because Man on the Moon 1, I think has, at least when it comes to sonically, maybe didn't age the best, but its impact, I think when you hear it, you're like, oh shit, I hear things like this in other artists that I listen to now. If you're growing up, because he was such an influential guy to the generation that came after him, especially with 1, 2, and then
it's one of the like last era of major releases that sound like they're meant to all the tracks are meant to be heard together.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like major releases definitely stopped even feeling that way to some extent.
And I think a lot of the problem too with his music career, and this is if you follow Cudi, like I've been following him, the guy burns bridges with so many producers and people that work around him, whether he's just so in his own head, like he thinks he's, he has this massive ego, and
we'll give him a pass for one of them.
Yeah, with one of them for sure. With the other one, I'm like, man, why would you burn this bridge, or why would you burn this one? Like he always seems to be fighting with his peers and people who could really help shape his sound. Because I think the one thing that when he goes astray, right, with his music, it's whenever he doesn't have somebody who can help him have a clear vision, because it feels like he's trying to do all these things at once, and sometimes they hit, and sometimes it's a mess. And unlike this album, it's not that they didn't hit or they didn't miss; it was just so sterilized. It's a sterilized Cudi album, for better or for worse. Nice. I think the biggest sin this album Free is committed to me is that it's just very middling, and not like it's good, it's bad. No, it's somewhere in the middle where like some of these songs you can come back to, some other songs you're like, why did you put this out? It's gonna be one of his more forgettable albums.
Yeah, not to be mean to him, but I think he also might have been able to save it. And this is how I think a lot of hip hop artists have saved albums in the past. Are there any features on the album?
No.
Hey.
Yeah. No officially credited.
Sometimes
features.
You gotta understand. And that's tough. But the features thing can be tough, obviously, especially if you're being a fucking dickhead to everybody, deserving or not.
I mean, that's probably just a choice at that point, right? Like he can get somebody if he wanted somebody. So
but I mean, if I think about Kid Cudi's some of his best stuff, like no offense to Kid Cudi, but like I'm thinking of GLC's verse on The End. I'm not really thinking of Kid Cudi's I got my JV boo beside me, she's my fucking best friend. No, I'm not thinking about that, bro. I'm thinking about GLC. Like GLC sounds so much cooler on that track. And it's not a bad thing because the rest of the album has a lot of highlights from Kid Cudi. But that particular track is very memorable. There's one with CeeLo where CeeLo's singing the hook. And it's
Kid
like,
Cudi versus the world.
More for that
Kid Cudi versus the world. Yeah, no, Man on the Moon 2, the choice of features on that one were all hits. Everybody who had a feature on that, Mary J. Blige, I think she had 2 features on that. She kills her appearances each time. Kanye West on Erase Me. You have St. Vincent on Maniac. Chip the Ripper, GLC on the end.
Right, Chip the Ripper's the other one.
Yeah, whenever he gets these features with people who like compliment his style, he has a great song. Even if he's not necessarily the highlight of the song, one thing that they do is compliment him in their own way.
Sadly, I think you're getting back to the point here is that essentially if he and another producer who we don't necessarily need to name at the moment that have worked so well together, both weren't types of people that they are, that perhaps the world might be a happier place full of better music. Because I think that's one of my biggest criticisms of even pre-Nazi version of said producer, of even the Pablo stuff, I thought was a little bit less fun, cohesive, and more just like copy and paste, interesting name here.
Yeah, so I guess after Man on the Moon 2 is when he starts self-producing. I was just
which wasn't great.
So I liked Man on the Moon. There's some pretty great albums on there, but I never felt like he got better than he did on A Kid Named Cudi, which was, the EP mixtape, whatever, right before that. Right. I never looked at the producer list on that. I don't know how he got all these people.
Well, A Kid Named Cudi was a lot of him just. It's the mixtape era. You just hop on an already established track, but you can put your own stuff.
He's just snagging beats.
That's why you can't find A Kid Named Cudi on streaming.
It is streaming
now, at least. Yeah, did they actually get Kid Named Cudi?
I think
they did for a little bit. Now it's.
I think the only one that didn't make it up was 50 Ways to Make a Record. I think they might have had trouble getting the Paul Simon on that one.
Yeah, no, they're hard. There are some of them like there's one of my favorite tracks. The only reason I even like No Ceilings from Lil Wayne is the Black Eyed Peas one, and I guess they've just never been able to clear that. And it's incredible. We used to party.
I Got a Feeling.
Yeah, we used to party that remix all the time.
Yeah. I don't listen to the official No Ceilings ever because it's missing a lot, and they added new stuff. And
oh my god, A Kid Named Cudi is really on here. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, damn. Anyway,
yeah, I thought that was an incredible work, and I'm still waiting for.
I've always been a big fan of Man on the Moon 1. That's probably one of my favorite albums of all time.
It's got some really high highs, and I got just a little bored in parts of it, but the highs are really incredibly high on it. So,
and that's like it's Plain Pat is the producer for most
Plain
of that
Pat.
album.
What up?
Yeah. But listen, it was Mike Dean that he beefed with.
But Mike Dean is probably ride or die for the other side too. So is that really his fault? I don't think.
Well, no, I mean he beefed with Mike Dean because Mike Dean was DJing for The Weeknd on a tour, and Kid Cudi was also touring around the same time, and just Mike Dean made a business decision, and Kid Cudi was not happy about it, and then they beefed with each other.
Mike Dean like had to do that because when do random engineer guitarist guys become as popular as Mike Dean? Get the fuck out of here, man.
And I'm just like, man, you're beefing with Mike Dean. You beefed with God. I mean, I think at one point he beefed with Plain Pat as well, but obviously they're still working together. Obviously the Gay as well, but then there's other guys in the industry, peers that he could have features with that they maybe can make good songs. And then the guys also, whatever reason, he has a vault of songs with features that we would like to see that he's teased before and just won't put them out there. Like, come on, man.
The oldest trick in the book.
All right. Well, I think
whatever.
That'll cover
Mid-album.
Kid Cudi. And the last one I was going to touch on just quickly, which was my favorite of the week, was the Earl Sweatshirt named Live, Laugh, Love, which is funny.
Was it actually a happy album? I didn't get a chance to listen to it.
Well, it's not. There's been sadder.
There's nothing like joyous about the beats, but I didn't get all the words, so
there's
I couldn't
been
tell you.
far sadder Earl Sweatshirt songs.
Chill, kind of old head with some new, a little bit of twist, but nothing groundbreaking. But between all the other stuff I was listening to, it was by far my favorite.
It's like an Earl Sweatshirt album. It's got to be they're really cool beats, but you have to be into very avant-garde, interesting styles. You're not obviously following traditional norms. And then his style is almost like intentional rambling, not mumbling, but like rambling rap, where you're just getting
He feels like he's lazy, even though I don't necessarily think that he is, but that feels like what I'm getting from it.
And you're going a lot of places with him on on a song. Like there's you're struggling to keep up a
consciousness,
little
yeah.
bit. Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. So I do think he's definitely an artist. It's not necessarily for everybody, but yeah, I thought it was good. Probably go back eventually and find something. With those albums, I do have to listen a couple times because there is a lot of unconventional thrown in there. Whereas I felt like the first two were about as conventional as they get.
Yeah. So if you wanted something more interesting, Live, Laugh, Love, Earl Sweatshirt. And then I stumbled on something yesterday or today that Bethke actually looked up to give us some more information on. But apparently there's some kind of Eminem documentary.
So that's where I'm hopeful that it's not, but I'm fearful that it is. It already has a like minute and a half, 2 minute long video that's out there for a trailer. It's about stan culture, which I do think Eminem and his team should be allowed to make.
Well, I mean, yeah, so it explores the career of Eminem through his superfans.
But that's where I don't love it.
It's a parasocial thing, yeah.
If he was talking about stan culture as it relates to, you know, One Direction, Nicki Minaj, Kanye, any of these people that we've seen
in a more broad scope, yeah.
Honestly, just focus on music industry. Throw what you know, so because honestly, this is still such a new thing with the internet. Like, to really be looking at it the way we are, it would have been cool if he would have done that and teamed up with other people, or not even teamed up with them, just also use their data, like also tracked how Beyonce's fans are online, Nicki Minaj's, Ariana Grande, like any of these ones that have these really insane, even the new artists, yeah. Right?
There's the biggest one, the Swifties.
The Swifties, right? Duh. So, like, if you really were to look at it in factions and that, I would be 100% in on this documentary. But because it's about Eminem through the lens of Eminem fans, I am out, because that's about to be one of the most embarrassing fucking things to white culture I've ever seen. I don't want to be part of that. I don't know those people.
Maybe that's why they're like, hey, well, Trump's still here. Let's slide this one in so that we look better by comparison.
It feels like there's going to be a lot of memes made about white people enjoying hip hop out of this, and that's fair and it's fine. But I'm just telling you right now, there's probably be a lot of really cringy people on that, and they're going to look like me.
Just in general, I don't trust any documentary that is produced by the subject of said documentary to be.
This one, though, I give it credit. It's not like
that I don't think he'll be pretty objective in anything he does. It's still just like, yeah. But what did you say though too?
I don't think The Last Dance will be too bad. I don't think it'll be too much of an influence on this, right? Well, I think he'll probably do his own thing. I don't think he'll really need to tell any story.
That The Last Dance was anywhere near the first time we got.
Yeah, but even with
TV,
Jerry's documentary that's big right now. Like, I think we have to know that what the difference is by now in these things.
Yeah. So not much there. Just thought it was interesting since that's a bigger artist from our lifetime, who I think this is the first documentary we get from him or about him.
Yeah, and he is an interesting guy. Like I said, I would be 100% in on Eminem being like the one who kind of narrates us through stan culture as it's gone on to be in pop culture. But if it's just about him and his fans, I just can't beat it for that.
Fair enough. And then into some weird news and notes. I did not bring the video for this first one because I didn't think that was a good idea. The story of Raja Rampage. I don't know what their actual last name is.
Raja Jackson?
Jackson, thank you. The son of Rampage Jackson. That makes sense why their last name would also be Jackson. Anyways, so...
And why is their last name...
Yeah. That's an even worse question, actually. Let's not go down that road today. It's not our place. Or is it? It's
true.
I don't know.
No, it's not.
Anyways, so
talking hip hop is where we belong.
Yeah, there it is. There's some kind of independent wrestling going on in LA here. I don't know anything about the Kick Plus or Knockout Plus.
Yeah, Knox Plus Wrestling, I think.
There it is.
This is like XFL for MMA.
Not necessarily. So
Probably
what
tier
it
than
is to give you a little bit of a background on the promotion itself. It's a promotion that's ran by a former WWE wrestler, Rikishi.
Well,
oh hell yeah!
And we'll get into we'll get into some of that, but
by name only, probably like Jay-Z owned the Nets.
That's what the internet's having me believe, is that Rikishi's either brother or cousin is the real one doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his name's attached to it, so it doesn't really
sure.
matter. So Nox Pro, sorry, not Nox Plus.
Yeah, it's a lower level wrestling. I'm pretty sure it's in LA, so it's bigger than it would be in like.
Right.
So what it is? It's both a promotion, right? A promotion and an academy. So. People go there to learn how to wrestle. They wrestle for the promotion. After they successfully complete their training, and they go from there.
So the part that I'm still the most confused on is what would be the inciting incident here, where one of the wrestlers smacks Raja Jackson with a beer can, and I don't really know.
Do I need to find this video?
See, I don't know. I guess that is in the video. My question is if he was even supposed to be part of it at all. If they got confused on that, they thought he would just roll with it because he is who he is, and he would know that they were just doing a bit. That's
fucking New York Post is so shameless.
That's the confusing part to me. But then we get the video afterwards where they're all in the parking lot, and the guy is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Like I thought we were doing a thing," and he's like, "We're good." And they're like, "Here, you can get him back in the ring, or you can get me back in the ring." Is what Syko Stu, the wrestler, said. So they basically were like, yeah, you can come in. You'll get a free, drive. What do you call it when you catch someone and throw them on the ground?
Just a slam?
Yeah, he did that.
So he got a free slam and then proceeded to punch this guy in the face about 20, 25 times.
Yeah, this video seems too short to catch anything prior with a can or anything.
Yeah, so basically they have a talk off stage, and this is all recorded, where basically they're like, okay, we'll let you come in and do this. It'll be a good bit. And then Jackson goes into the ring and makes it real, and it takes everyone a minute to realize that he's actually laying into this guy who's defenseless on the ground. And so they got to pull him off. That guy goes to the hospital, Syko Stu. I got a report this morning that he's I didn't get a report. I saw on the internet that he is awake and talking and everything. I don't know how much he remembers yet.
Syko Stu.
Syko Stu. I don't know how much he remembers yet of the actual incident itself. I remember the first reports being he only remembers part of the day. Yeah, it's bad. It could end up either it's the greatest sell job of all time, or Raja Jackson will be going to at least trial for attempted murder in the near future.
Yeah, no, this wasn't this wasn't.
Sir, as a veteran of the Reddit front page, circa 2010, 11, I think I know something about graphic content. Okay, that is some graphic content.
Yeah, it's a tough watch.
Yeah,
and
because
go ahead.
I was gonna say there's no way that to take that many unprotected punches in wrestling. Some guys, they will take some unprotected punches, right? With the idea that
but even then,
the person's going to hold back a little bit.
Even then, they know they're going to be taking them.
Yeah, they know they're going to be taking them, so they might roll with the punches. This was not one of those occasions. That was straight up punching a defenseless person. It's a tough watch.
The full day, basically.
I'm actually going to watch it one more time, but not because of that. I just want to see the reaction of people around.
The full day of live streams where Jackson's just talking to his fans on Kick, and they're basically telling him to do this, and he's like, "I'm going to get him back. I will."
Yeah,
that's the only reason I would say that it could be the greatest sell of all time is because why else is literally all of it filmed? But that might just be idiocracy. So.
Yeah, it more likely than not, it's that. Especially considering the ramifications of this were that the Nox Pro Wrestling lost their WWE affiliation. So a lot of these small promotions have a WWE ID. Essentially, what that means is a lot of those promotions kind of have a pipeline towards sending some of their talent into the WWE pipeline, right? Therefore, getting some more attention to them. This one, they lost that. WWE
no
immediately pulled that out.
Recognized as a sovereign nation by the UN.
Yeah, essentially. And yeah, you look at this from all accounts that Raja Jackson is not a trained wrestler at all. Unlike his dad.
I mean, those punches didn't look very good either. They just looked like, I mean, they connected, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was more like a little kid mad at his pillow.
You see at one point he switches to just doing one hand, I think, so he can have more control over them. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then you got a guy trying to like pull him off, and he's like, "Nope."
But yeah, so there's the first guy who tries to pull him off, who's not a big guy, but he's like, "I'm gonna start to try and hope someone else."
In his credit, I just rewatched the video over specifically for this. Seems to be the only one in camera shot, at least, that actually realized what was happening.
Yeah, I do wonder how long that shock factor is.
He had a quick reaction. The rest of them were pretty slow compared to his reaction.
There's talk about how a couple days before Raja got knocked out in a sparring match, and his dad went on his live stream and basically called his son out, called him a little P for not responding to that. Some people were saying that led into it. There's rumors going around today that one of the wrestlers in the ring had a problem with that other wrestler, and he made this happen. So I don't know.
This is good promotion. So now I'm starting to believe in the sell job too.
It's an F story, and hopefully, if things are what they appeared to be, then Raja will face some kind of punishment for his actions there. And then I think Jacob had another wild ass story that I didn't even look up.
Yeah, this one was crazy, but it kind of did go under the radar a little bit because of this other one. Jaylen Brown, Boston Celtic, NBA champion, blah, blah, blah. His dad had quite an incident, and there's been conflicting reports of how close he is to his dad, whatever. I don't really care. And I don't think he's addressed this. I don't think the Celtics addressed it. I don't think neither one of them should address it, frankly.
No, this is the perfect time in their calendar year to not have to deal with this.
But yeah, so his dad is alleged
professional wrestler, apparently.
Oh yeah, that's actually the biggest thing. His not just former professional wrestler, allegedly 7 foot boxer.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, door ding led to stabs in the back, allegedly, according to the allegednesses.
And when you say door ding, you mean
like a parking spot door ding? Yes.
Okay.
Parking spot door ding turned into this, and it's interesting on a lot of levels where it comes to just like this man's just such a big person. Can't imagine the other person was bigger than him. So for him to stab him is just batshit. For him to stab him as much as he did, even more batshit.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying it's a sane move to stab someone in that scenario, but to go for multiple is real.
No, and not multiple, even like a lot, like over 20 times allegedly.
Like me trying to carve a jack-o'-lantern.
Right. So not good. I wouldn't have brought it up otherwise, but since we're talking about violent crimes and sports adjacent people,
yeah, it's some weird stuff going on right here before the football season starts. Our last little bit, the Texas Rangers have unfortunately
bid us farewell.
Unfortunately put themselves in a poor position. Uvalde's been shut down for the year. There goes his outside chance at a Cy Young.
Yep.
Bochy's contract's up at the end of this year. Who knows? He's pretty old. What's funny, though, when I was looking at the standings today and then going back looking at the previous schedule, pretty much losing 3 of 4 to Kansas City and 2 of 3 to Seattle is exactly the difference in why we're going to miss the playoffs, is what it looks like. So those games earlier this month really costing us a lot. Or maybe just 3 or 4 in Seattle and 3 and 4 from Kansas City also.
It was not good. They were
Either
both
way,
mostly. And then wasn't there a sweep? There was almost a sweep in someone else in that.
We definitely got swept by a couple people in between those two. But the two teams that are directly above us, one holding the wild card spot and the one in between us, we lost several games to them in the last month that have pretty much officially gotten us knocked out. Mathematically, they'll be alive for another week or two probably. But
more importantly, then Bruce Bochy's future, which, hey, Hall of Fame, whatever. If he wants to stay, what do we really have a better option? I don't know. If he wants to go, fair enough.
When Shoemaker was hired, it was a lot of people, at least people around the team that aren't employees of the team, saying this is likely your next manager. He's here to learn CY's program, and that all makes sense.
I don't doubt that, and I think that's fair. And
I'm pretty sure Bochy's older than Ron Washington. I don't know how.
We also might need to mention a little bit with Ron.
Yeah, I didn't get the full announcement. I think they announced he had some kind of heart condition, I guess.
Heart diagnosis, something causing him to, leave the season. He's not going to finish the season with the Angels, but he's still going to be around the team. So it's not too severe, but notable because it might also be the end of his managerial career.
For sure, and he's done a great job there for getting them kind of almost like what he was doing here, just a little bit maybe too late in his life, unfortunately.
But again, this isn't, neither of these men retiring is as interesting to me as the third potential man that could be deciding that. I'm not trying to shoo him out the door, but he started off the season tough. Then he got injured, and now Marcus is going to have to shut down early.
He's not retiring.
I'm just, what's he got to prove?
How?
All right, fine. I just want to do second baseman, man. Chill out.
Leave me alone.
I respect Marcus, but bro,
especially the smart ones are like, I'm only be able to play this game for so long in my life to where then I'll never be able to play it again. So
no, it's tough because I can try to convince myself that they're going to spend money on Kyle Tucker, but I know that's still not going to happen. What they could actually do is be forced into spending because Marcus's retirement at second base. So I'm just frustrated by that.
Then you might get 7-foot second baseman all of a sudden. Sebastian Walcott might be.
Yeah, I guess that's fair, but I don't know. I guess I'm not the one trying to rush Seabass up.
No, there's a lot of questions. Simeon's not going anywhere unless that injury is a lot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going anywhere else to another team. I'm saying
well, yeah, I don't think he's done. And I think if
Marcus
the lineup
is also out.
If the lineup is just better than it has been around him, he's not going to have that much pressure on him.
It's not even a Marcus thing. I just need to find a big time position to fill in free agency because this team sucks now. That's all I have.
DH and first base is your.
Yeah, but I like having stupid kind of overweight guy at first base.
Go find another one.
Big name bat. I want big name bat. Exactly. I want big name bat. I need if it's DH, that's fine.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this first quarter. We'll be back with college football talk. Yeah.